supervisors, you face challenges every day as part of your responsibility for managing and coaching those who work for you. One of the responsibilities of supervisors, and often one of the toughest to handle, is having difficult conversations with employees. These can involve work performance issues, addressing conflicts in the workplace, personal issues, even dealing properly with layoffs and terminations. It is critical to handle these situations in a tactful, appropriate, and productive manner. This video series, Conquering Difficult Conversations, is designed to give supervisors the confidence to meet these challenging situations proactively and to address them in an objective manner. Letting an employee go, whether through a layoff or a termination, can be one of the most difficult things you do as a supervisor. It can bring up a variety of emotions, and you can't predict how the employee will react to the news. But there are effective, strategic ways to let employees go, and when handled properly, the employee will leave with his or her dignity intact and allow everyone to move on. In Layoffs and Terminations, you will see several dramatized scenarios, first shown done in an inappropriate manner, then in a more acceptable manner. First, let's hear what people in industry have to say about this issue.
I think some real general guidelines you need to follow when terminating an employee really has to do with making sure you've got all your ducks in a row and that you've investigated the situation clearly. You understand all the policies and procedures of the organization. So when you present your case, you do that so as not to endanger either the organization or the employee. So you have to be concerned about being respectful, their dignity, and being sensitive to the employee.
You know, first of all, has the file been reviewed from a factual standpoint, establishing that this person has been counseled, that when you sit down to talk to them, that this really shouldn't be a surprise to them, that the roadmap has been laid or been established showing what your expectations are and that those expectations have not been met. That's important, particularly in states that are not at-will employee states, if you have to be able to show that there's just cause. And certainly that's very important in a unionized environment. Have the procedural steps been followed? Okay? Then next, what does this person look like demographically? What protected classes are they in? Are they protected, by their ethnicity? Are they protected by their age? Are they protected because they have a disability? And that's important to ensure that the reasons don't have anything to do with those factors. Understanding that in many situations, for a person to state a claim that it's at least going to stay in front of an administrative agency at the first level, all they really need to show is that they're a member of that protected class and that they were terminated. And so then the burden is going to shift to you to show that we have these good business reasons for doing what we did. And that's true whether or not you're an at-will employment state or not. So, first of all, establish, the documentation of why you're doing what you're doing, and two, evaluate the demographic characteristics of the person regarding, the EEO considerations.
There are two basic reasons why employees won't work out and it's necessary to terminate employees. One is lack of cultural fit, the other is lack of technical skills. Now, interestingly, my experience has been that about 80% of the time when terminations occur, it's lack of cultural fit as opposed to lack of technical skills. It's people just don't fit with the organization culture. The work ethic, the values, how they interact just don't mesh.
I'm not really sure you can be prepared for anything. One of the pieces of advice, though, that I give employers who are about to terminate somebody is to expect the unexpected. But fortunately, most employees handle that situation very professionally. There are a few that probably behavior could improve.
In this scenario, the supervisor, Scott, must deal with the termination of one of his delivery drivers, Patrick, for his ongoing tardiness.
Hey, Scott, where are you sending me this morning?
Patrick, you're late. Again. That's the third time this week. This pattern is continuing.
Yeah, me and the kids were running late again, so I'll just have to hustle it a little to catch up today. But don't worry.
Patrick, it seems like it's always something. Just this week, it was the kids and your wife needing a ride. Last week, traffic was heavy. I'm sorry, but this is it. It's the end of the line.
End of the line? What are you talking about?
Patrick, this company is built on being on time. Our customers rely on that. And this has been going on for a long time. We've talked about this repeatedly, but nothing's improved.
But Scott...
Give me your keys, Patrick. I need to let you go.
But I've been here for a long time. I've got a great safety record. Just like that, huh? Well, what about severance pay?
I'm sorry, that's not an option.
Well, can I get a reference?
I wouldn't be comfortable with that either. I'm afraid you're on your own. Now pack up your stuff and clean all your personal items out of your vehicle. I'll give you all the time you need for that, but there's really nothing more to talk about. The decision is final.
What was wrong with how Scott handled the situation? Let's see how Scott handled the same situation in a more appropriate manner.
Good morning, Scott. See you at the meeting.
Yep. See you later. Patrick, we have to let you go due to your excessive tardiness.
What?
Now, as you know, when we first discussed this, we gave you a verbal warning and thought that would motivate you to change. And at that time, you assured me that things would get better, but they didn't. That prompted us to give a written warning, followed by putting you on probation when the written warning failed to produce any results. Patrick, you've had 3 chances to change this behavior pattern, and it hasn't improved. And looking at your time cards, this has been a chronic problem and hasn't gotten any better. Our attendance policy is clear, and you broke it.
Man, I'm really sorry, Scott. But it's just that I have to get the kids off to school a couple of days a week. My wife's car has been in the shop, and I always seem to hit bad traffic when I come in. Now, I just have to hustle a little bit more to keep up.
But Patrick, that is not a solution to the problem of arriving late. We told you the risks, and termination was one of them. Plus, you broke policy. And frankly, if your solution is to hurry through the day to try and catch up, then it brings up issues of safety and also increases the chances that mistakes will be made.
I promise, things will get better.
We've worked together for a long time to get this problem straightened out. Now, here's a copy of the action plan you signed when we put you on probation. Because there hasn't been an improvement, we're letting you go.
But I've been here for a long time. I do my job. I work hard. I hustle to make up for the time I lose when I'm late.
Patrick, we agreed to a plan that would stop your tardiness, and you failed to keep up your end of the agreement. This business relies on being on time. The decision is final.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions at this point?
No, I guess not.
Okay. Patrick, let's review some information about your benefits.
What was right in how this situation was handled?